Sorry, Rita. Hi, Rita. Is it working? You're on mute. Hello?
Oh, now I see. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
I don't know what I did. Okay, well, whatever it was, it worked. Great.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Hi, April. April's on mute.
We can see only the top of her head, too.
Now we can't even see that. Now we can see just half your head. There she is. Hi, April.
Hello, I'm having a bad hair day, so never mind.
Join the club.
Eh,
Hi, Linda.
is Linda there?
Yep. She's
I was just
muted.
finishing a work email. I don't have much more of that to do. Let me send it out. Okay. We got Melissa's. Have you heard any news? Did she die?
Got a text at, I guess, right at 5 o'clock. Her mom passed away.
Oh. Wow. This has been a bad week, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, what's her mom's name?
I know.
Judith Makepeace.
Judith
Judy.
Makepeace. Oh, okay.
Judy.
What is Melissa's home address? I'll send her some flowers from us, if that's okay.
I'll chip in.
Okay.
And so, you know, when her grandma passed away, I got a extra special bouquet made from
Right. That's right.
the folks from Susan Patton.
So maybe a little basket of goodies or something.
Well, whatever that would be lovely. And I just want you to know as well, you know, Kristen Burgess's dad passed away about 10 days ago. And so I left her, I put 2 bouquets together from the market and left them for her. She was working on Saturday. And she wanted everybody to know that she really loved them.
Oh, good.
They made her day. So that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a tough stretch around here.
Yeah,
Huh?
really. Wow.
Goodness.
It's weird. Like Mike Sapanic's house is sold, I think, or they're gone. I mean, all that stuff over the years. It's changing.
Yep.
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 Okay, April, you're it.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, yes, that's right. Melissa, where are you?
Sharing.
Let's call this meeting to order.
Okay.
Hey.
Anybody here for?
Okay, so I see Penny here, and the reason Penny is here is because we have a request for, in your last packet, you had got a PAF for a new hire. Her name is Tessa Dowling, and she is very skilled and wonderful, and Penny will tell you all about her. And when you want to take that up after you do your
Yeah, let's make sure.
comment, and I'm going to reach out and see if Tessa can join us for a brief moment, because I know
That would be lovely. I also wanted to see if there's any changes that anybody wants on the agenda. It looks fine to me. Is there anything you'd want to add, Rita?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, you are good.
I just need to grab Tessa's cell phone number.
Well, if Penny can hear us, that's a nice color background. I like that, Penny.
Oh, the mustard.
It's a mustard. I like the color. No.
Oh, that's better.
So maybe Penny, if we could use this time, it's during our public comment time to welcome your new hire. She sounds terrific from what Becky has said.
I think, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm kind of amazed. We had, I think, 5 applications total. None of them were terrible. Two of them were outstanding enough that we decided to interview them. And we did that by Zoom about a week ago. We interviewed a woman who's currently on the Conservation Commission in South Hadley, who also completed a degree through the, or a certificate through the Conway School. And her name was Amanda Smith, and we interviewed Tessa Dowling, who is currently doing a job not really similar to Linda's, but somewhat similar for the Conservation Commission in Leverett. And she's only been doing this since, I think it's February, but she seems to be learning fast, and I guess she accepted the job yesterday. She has, let's see, a BA from Bard College in natural sciences with a concentration in biology. She has a master's in biological sciences from University of New England. And I actually was part of a Zoom symposium that she did, several months back on the new solar credit program in the state that was run by Hilltown Land Trust, where she was a TerraCore intern and the stewardship coordinator. So she seems to have a lot of initiative. She seems like she may stick around for a little while because she has a part-time job in Leverett as well, which I think both of the candidates were really good. I think Deacon Bonner, Chuck Damari, and I all felt that whoever would stay the longest would be the one we would want the most, but that one's a hard one to ferret out. But Tessa accepted the job, and I think she's going to be really good.
And was there a reference? Did you do reference checks?
Yeah, Becky did very extensive references. Both of candidates were really very good, and all of their references were very good. Becky, do you want to talk about that a little bit, because you were the one who followed up on all the references?
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just realizing getting Tessa, maybe we'll just have to meet Tessa another day, because getting her the Zoom info is tougher than I thought it would be. If you could just give me a second.
Sure.
Zoom. Oh, shoot.
Well, I can tell you a
Sorry
little
about
bit.
that.
Do you have it?
Yeah, sorry about that. We interviewed, I interviewed, I think 5 references for Amanda. She has just recently completed her master's at the Conway Landscape School of Design. And she got top-notch references from people that she had done projects for. And she has also, over the years on Concom, been going to all the certification classes, and some of the references were people who had encountered her at the classes and had worked with her on different projects. And she did a marvelous job from all their work. And then I spoke to one of the commissioners she worked with. She got outstanding references as well. And Tessa similarly had worked in labs through college and got outstanding references from people she worked with. The professor that she interned for said he'd leave her in charge for, a couple months at a time. And she did astounding work. She's very detail oriented and handles, bureaucracy and jumps into things 100%, is usually ahead of her work. So it's, both references were
Yeah.
spectacular.
Great.
And so it was a really tough decision for the board, and it's really wonderful the way things have worked out.
Good. And it's Tessa.
Great.
It's
Tessa.
And it's Tessa, right. And, it will be a long time before Tessa can even begin to do the job that Linda's done. So hopefully she'll stay long enough to make a dent in those big shoes.
Mhm.
I think that was the hardest thing for Deacon, Chuck, and Penny was, we asked for minute samples, and and they were both, I was impressed. I thought both of them did a very good job, but it just didn't compare to Linda's. And that's, so, it was a process of great appreciation for Linda as well. And that just needs to be noted. But we were very fortunate to have two such qualified applicants, even though it was really tough because it meant it took longer to figure it out.
Great.
Anyway,
So we have to sign the PAF. Is that the next?
yeah, but before you do that, I'd like someone to make a motion to hire Tessa Dowling to be the new land use clerk in Shutesbury.
So I make the motion to hire Tessa Dowling as the new land use clerk in Shutesbury.
And I second that. All in favor?
Aye. Farrell, aye.
Stein, aye. When does she start? When is this transition? And this must be a relief for you, Linda.
It's very bittersweet,
Yes.
because I've been working with Penny for 14 years.
Wow.
So.
I said to Linda today when I talked with her that I almost feel like crying every time I call, because we've had such a wonderful working relationship all these years. We've been a great team and we've accomplished a lot of things. So very, very grateful.
Yep.
Yep.
It's nice to hear that.
I kind of put Penny in charge of determining when she'll start work, but as of this moment, Penny, you're free to make plans and set up schedules with Tessa.
Okay.
The appointment is official.
Okay. So I think the commission's next meeting is not this week, but next week. It would be great to have her on board by then. I think the other two boards, planning and ZBA, won't be meeting until sometime in September. So Linda, you and I will strike a plan if that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Tessa will be out the first week of September. She had already made plans. So
we'll figure out something for that. And I just got a phone call from my husband saying that he biked to work today in Hatfield and he left his car there yesterday, but he left his keys home.
Let's go to Hatfield now, huh?
Yeah,
My
that's a nice.
boy.
It's uphill from Hatfield.
I know. Yeah, he rode home last night and left his car at work and rode back to work this morning, but he rode back without his keys.
Great.
So if you're done
you
with
better
me, I'm going to hop in the car.
Enjoy the
Have
ride.
fun.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Penny.
Bye.
Thank
bye,
you.
Penny.
Penny.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and Linda, it is a strange thing to step away from something you've done for so long. As I'm learning as I'm going through this. It's a relief and it's sad. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Well, it's nice to know we've hired somebody, a good person. So, the common victualer's license application for the AC.
It was in the packet, right?
Yep,
Yep.
I got it here.
Multiple pages that Linda prepared.
Yeah, I prepared a packet that I sent to you
Mhm.
in advance of the last meeting, and
Yeah.
then Becky included the actual paperwork that the SAC filled out in your packet.
And what's the procedure, just since it's the first time around for me?
Okay, so yeah, we did, when did we do, we usually do them near the end of the year. Well, we haven't had a hot dog stand in a while, so we haven't been doing them. Right, Linda?
Yeah, I mean, I did one for Mix, the hot dog man,
Right.
several years ago, but there hasn't,
Been any.
there hasn't been one, well, not this year, but the prior 2 years, I think. And I have not done one for the SAC. What I understand is that it's a license issued by the select board for the preparation and serving of food on site.
Which they've never done.
But that's what they're trying to do they've met with the Board of
Open up.
Health.
Okay,
And I checked with Catherine, they have all their things in order for the Board of Health to be, have people come and pick up meals. So
oh,
that's
so it's
what-
actually takeout,
Yep.
okay. And then you could take out drinks too, is that the deal?
I think you can, but I don't know if they tightened up on that or not. I'm not up to date. They had been allowing that with meals, so I imagine they still are.
Yeah, I think they just don't want people drinking in a bar.
Right.
You can't.
No. So it sounds like they're being very creative in how to sustain, because I'm sure they're really hurting right now. And it would be sad to lose the SAC over this.
Yep.
So what is our next step in the process? It's the Board of Health has signed off on it.
So you're left, and they're the main ones. They're the ones that confirm that that the kitchen's in order, the refrigeration and all of that, which they do through an inspection by the Board of Health agent.
Mhm.
And the common victualer's license is similar to the permits for the video games at the bar. It's more, it's just it's the piece where the select board is giving permission to do these activities, and that's to serve food in this case.
And it's
So
clear. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's why I talked to Catherine, because they have the heavy responsibilities regarding the health and making sure that the facilities are in order, they have the correct equipment, the temperature is the correct temperature in the refrigerators and all of that. And
I assume they do periodic inspections. I think
Yep.
that they have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like they have all their, that they have everything lined up that they needed to get done, so.
Yeah, I mean, and on your end, there's the documents that Mark Goshevsky sent in the email, which are the actual application that says serve food, has their address and their ID number, and is signed by Jen Donnelly, their secretary.
Mhm.
So once you approve the license, then I would fill in, I'll fill in the pertinent information on the application. Then they have an annual license information form, which they filled out. And then a statement saying that their state tax returns and state taxes have been,
They're up to date.
They're up to date. The other piece of information that is usually included in the packet is, in the Saks case, they have workman compensation insurance. So their document is already on file because of their ABCC license.
Okay.
So we already have that. And so in the packet that I sent to you is, you know, this, you can't really read it, but you know, this, which says that this is to certify that the Shutesbury Athletic Club of 282 Wendell Road is hereby granted a common victualer's license in said Shutesbury, Mass. At that place only and expires December 31st, 2020, unless suspended or revoked. It's issued in conformity with the authority granted to the licensing authorities, which is you, by General Law, Chapter 140, and amendments there too. And so once you, if you, you know, approve it,
Be executed.
then I'll put it in, it'll be a yellow paper that I'll put in your box for you to sign.
Okay.
And then I'll issue it to the SAC once you know.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the common victualers license for the Shutesbury Athletic Club.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Farrell, aye.
And Stein, aye. Good.
Great.
It would be nice to have some closer to home takeout. Yes,
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
it should be. We're up to the special town meeting warrant. That seems to be moving forward.
Her COG appointments is there too.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yes, yes. Yes, let's do let's do the FERCog appointments. Thank you, Linda.
Okay, so we have a representative to FERCog is Ellen McKay. And I traditionally am the backup. I know Elaine really wanted to be the backup, so she was the backup for the last year or so. So I will step aside if there's a select board member who wants to back Ellen up when she can't make it. It used to be because she has regular travel. That hasn't been happening lately. So the backup requirement won't be as rigorous.
I would not mind taking that role, seeing as I will have more time coming up. If that's okay with you, Becky, would you
Sure.
miss that? You know,
Well, I haven't been doing it because Elaine has been doing it. So yeah, I miss it, but Elaine's, that's fine. April will
okay.
be the backup. And the second one we need is for the Franklin Regional Planning Board. And there, Jeff has been representing the planning board and I've been representing the select board over the years. And here again, it could be something that if the select board wants to participate in, that's your choice. And if you decline, then I'll jump in.
Well, I'm comfortable with you doing it, Becky.
Okay. And
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
okay. Linda, my paperwork is in 3 packets back. Are there others?
Hold on, I'll look in the email. Hold on.
I know we have a FRTA representative too.
Well, wouldn't you know? I can't find it. Oh no, here it is. Sorry. Let's see. It is.
Linda, you look like you have 14 screens now. You look like an air traffic controller.
Okay, so it's there. Let's see. For COG Council, which we just did, right?
Yeah.
Regional Emergency Planning Committee.
That's always Walter.
Okay. And then we don't have the Cooperative Health Service.
Correct.
So let me just double check. Okay, so that's the council. This is Walters. And then the other one is the health one, which we don't have. So that's it.
Okay, and then if we would also, why don't we vote those first? So it would be for the council, it would be Ellen McKay with April as the substitute, the alternate. And for the planning board, Jeff Lacey would be the planning board rep, and I'll be the select board representative. And for the regional emergency committee, Walter Tibbetts.
So
Okay,
I
so,
make a motion that we accept that slate of candidates.
yes, and I'll second that. All in favor?
Carol, I.
And Stein, aye.
And then just because why don't we vote the FRTA? The paperwork will catch up with us. I know it's around here somewhere, so I'll have it for you, Melissa, to sign, or for you to sign, April.
Okay,
The Franklin Regional Transit Authority, where we belong to that, we get very little from it. Wendell and New Salem have vans and different things. I tried to get a van about 5 years ago, and we never did finish up the survey. There was supposed to be a survey through the FERCog that was going to determine, whether there was sufficient need in our community. So that really has to happen for us to really fully participate in FRTA, but we're still part of the group and vote on the bus routes around Greenfield and all that fun stuff. So anybody tempted, April?
I think I'm good.
And
Why have they not followed up with the survey?
well, that was a FERCog thing, and it was because of grant funding that moved around.
Okay,
So, and I failed, maybe I didn't make enough noise about it, but I'll try to do that again.
it'd be loud.
Well, you can do it because it's FERCog that let us down, and when you back
I could be, yeah,
you can be the squeaky wheel saying, how come we don't
we
have
don't
a-"
have, yeah. It's really, especially with our aging population,
Yeah,
absolutely.
tell them you need a van.
They do. Tired of walking to town.
Okay.
It's also, yeah, I was just thinking, Walter has not had an emergency management. I just was thinking of that meeting since February. Do you know of any plan that he has to do that, to bring the group together? Or,
He brought it, or Mark Foster brought it up when I was talking to them, but it didn't. I think their feeling is the Board of Health. I don't know what I'll talk to him about it again. I know he talked about doing it, but wasn't rushing into it.
I'm not sure if he's Zoom friendly so much.
He is. He's
okay.
been holding Zoom meetings with the Cemetery Commission
Okay.
and attending. We had a department head Zoom. We had a couple department head meetings on Zoom that he attended. No, so I don't think it's that. I think that he's found himself really busy without having the meetings. So,
Okay.
but I bet we'll have one soon.
Yeah. Not that I need another meeting, but
But it would be interesting to do. He's had the activity, the other PAF is for yet another new member of the fire department. So I think he's really been busy. I think it's like 3 new members,
right.
which is astounding.
It seems to be that we're involving an entire family in our
Yep.
health and safety.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus Johansson's younger brother Noah is the new firefighter.
Oh, great.
He's a very fast runner. He does a loop around. He's very fast.
Yeah, I've saw Marcus running with him a few times, But then I saw him running by himself and I was like, oh, he really picked up the pace. Yeah, he's fast. But that's, okay. So we didn't have a vote on the FRTA. Could,
Can we wait for Melissa? Is that,
I'm sorry?
I said, can we wait for Melissa to see if she wants to do it?
Sure, sure. It's just those meetings are during the daytime. And
Oh,
he has a daytime job, so. But we could do, we'll wait. Who knows?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, okay. All right, now we're onto the special time meeting for Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Nobody's going anywhere.
Did you want me to read you the article?
Let's see, we got a copy of it.
Yeah. Does everybody have it or is everyone
Yeah.
okay with it?
Yeah.
Yep.
You just pull it up again.
See if the town of Shutesbury will vote to amend Article
Oh, here
11
it is, yep.
of June 27th, 20 annual town meeting warrant as approved by reducing the amount of free cash applied to the FY21 budget from $467,367 to $220,000 and to increase, raise and appropriate by a corresponding amount, $256,357, or take any other action relative thereto.
Sounds
I
pretty
did,
straightforward to me.
Yeah.
it took hours and days.
Really, to get that wording?
Yeah, because the original two attempts, the accountant wasn't comfortable with, so we had to bring in the auditor because Donna was, but it all worked out. We have the perfect article now, I hope.
Good. Good.
So,
I make a motion that we approve the article as presented this evening.
and I will second that. All in favor?
Carol, I.
And Stein, aye. This is such good news.
So the Finance Committee will be meeting at 7 to vote on whether they recommend or don't recommend the article.
Okay, so
And
could,
I'll notate that and have it ready for you all to sign.
okay, could we attend that meeting, not as a,
Yes.
as just as individual, we could adjourn and attend that meeting? I would be curious.
Yeah, you can listen, but you can't decide things.
No.
Yep.
I
Okay.
bet- Yeah, I'm curious. You know, I feel pretty strongly that, you know, this money should go back into our free cash. In my humble opinion.
Okay.
And I'm curious to see where the FinCom, and we'll
And
adjourn.
when it first came up at the Finance Committee's last meeting, there were no, it seemed, we didn't hear otherwise at that point, but you never know.
You never know. Nope.
So,
Okay, so we have Chapter 90 highway reimbursements.
did you take a vote on that? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Thank you, Linda.
I forgot. No, I remembered.
Chapter 90 highway reimbursement is for that 3,200 foot section of Locks Pond Road.
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem.
I hear my colleague Tara comes down with her little dog and her little daughter, and her dog Ginger loves your dog. I just have to say.
Oh, yes, Ginger. My neighbor, they come down all the time. It's very cute. Well, we've had a lot of bunnies in the yard, and our dog just goes nuts with the bunnies. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Chapter 90 money, we've got the document. So we need to sign that. Do the three of us need to sign that, or?
I need 2 out of 3.
Okay, you got it.
Okay. So given Melissa's situation, if you guys can really make sure to come in and sign everything. Except for, she does need to sign, what is this? No, I think if you two sign everything else, she'll be all right.
Will that be ready tomorrow, Becky?
Yeah, because the meeting's tonight, I'll just add that one.
I may not have any time tomorrow. Shit.
Okay.
I
It's
can-
okay.
I have a 11:30 on Thursday free
Okay. Or if you want to come up after the meeting, April?
tonight. I could-
The common victulars won't be ready till,
What?
the common victulars I'll put in your box, April, and, well, there'll be one, so you'll have to come and look for it.
Okay,
But that won't be ready until tomorrow sometime.
okay.
But I can come by tomorrow and then April.
And I'll come by Thursday.
Okay.
You
Yeah, if
said
I-
Thursday at
at
11.
11:30, or if my 9 o'clock client, it might be a short session, so I might be able to come at 9:30. I will make it a short session.
Is that today or, I mean, Wednesday or
That's
Thursday?
Thursday. Wednesdays, I'm just jammed until 6.
Okay.
If you're up there, yeah, maybe I could come up after work tomorrow. Would the,
Yeah, there's a broadband meeting. I'll be Zooming.
oh, okay, so I'll do that.
So I'll be here.
Okay, I'll do it after work tomorrow.
Great. And thank you all for signing the bond yesterday. That was very helpful to get that done. Ryan was here tonight getting it all out.
Yeah, so that's done.
Okay.
So do I hear a motion to approve the Chapter 90 reimbursement request to the Mass DOT?
So moved.
I will second that. All in favor?
Carol, I.
And Stein, aye.
Great. And I hope to have the Chapter 70 reimbursement for the small municipal bridge project for you at the next meeting. And speaking of the next meeting, I want to be sure that you all can attend on the 2nd of September. The 1st of September would be our normal day, but that's election day.
Oh, right,
And we don't hold meetings on election day anymore.
I can do that.
That's fine for me.
Great. And Rita, I'm gonna defer to you a little bit on the CPC appointments that we
Right.
need to do.
You know, probably I had made some suggestions for the CPC membership, but the CPC itself has not met.
Right.
So I think maybe it might make sense for the committee to meet and then just confirm those appointments. Do you agree, Linda?
Yeah. Yes, because I'd like to know.
Yeah. So
I think we're meeting on the 17th.
yeah. So if we can wait, that would be great.
Okay, are there any members that, okay, so
That are whose terms are up.
not just whose terms are up, but because you passed a new bylaw are no longer members?
That's a very good question.
We have to go over all that now.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's awkward because Alan in effect wouldn't be if he was we no longer have a finance committee position. So, and Alan Hansen, who's currently the co-chair with me, is the finance committee person. So I know he does want to stay on the committee. I suppose we could go ahead and do his appointment, but you know, I think maybe what makes sense, Becky, is for us just to check with Alan and then maybe do this at our next meeting. Is that possible? So then we'd have the appointments before the September 17th CPC meeting. because the
Or
other,
at least Allen's.
at least Alan's, yeah. Because then we
That
have,
was my concern. If you hold a meeting and there's
Right.
people there thinking they're on the committee
Right,
that have
right.
been,
We definitely have to do
knocked out by-
Alan. And then Elaine wouldn't be coming, you know, for the
select board.
anyway. And and I think those are the two that
Yeah.
that we're
Right.
concerned about. So if we can take care of Alan, and then the recreation committee needs to meet and designate somebody for the you know, who be in the CPC position, and then the select board has to appoint them.
Yeah, and Linda, I don't know, you were coming for Concom. And you'll have a chance to talk to the Conservation Commission about that too.
Yeah, and see what they want to do.
Yeah, and what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea, but I'm glad we had this conversation because,
Yeah, it's like all these things have to happen, you know, it's, some people have to have meet, like the recreation committee needs to meet, need to check with Alan, and then the
and
CPC needs to meet.
the Conservation Commission.
And the Conservation Commission too. So when does the Conservation Commission meet, Linda? Did you say next?
They're meeting on the 27th.
Okay,
Yeah, and you know, and I'll see what they think, and you know,
okay.
I've been on CPC a long time.
I know, it'd be nice to have you stay on, so,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Are you going to be the select? Are we?
No, we don't have an official
Oh, right.
parks person. And then, so I'm still the housing person.
Okay.
And what I've suggested to Becky is that, and I'll talk to the committee about, is, you know, at some point over the course of this year, if we can find somebody else who has some housing background who could fill that position, I think it would be good to, you know, have some new blood. But there's no rush. So we can take our time and see if there's anybody in town. I can only think of maybe one person, but you know, maybe there are people I don't know about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because then there's the, you know, making sure there's a certain longevity balance with new people, just because of everything one needs to know.
Right. Yep.
And well, you've survived one transition when Donald left, so I'm sure you'll survive another somehow. All right, so we're down to the status of reopening plans.
Yep.
I think I did forward that small little reopening schedule that the school had. Did you guys have a chance to read that?
Yep.
Can you just give us a quick overview?
They're planning not to reopen until November 9th. And their plans, I mean, I don't know a whole lot. I know Amherst is also officially on the 9th, but they will be working with a lot of students that are either special needs or have other situations that that require, that they have attention. So I think about 20% of the regional school is going back earlier on the 16th. The teachers are going to have
September 16th.
Yeah, September 16th.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers are going to have 2 weeks where they're going to be training on how to teach in the new environments that they're going to be working in, because they're changing what they did from the spring.
Mhm.
They've developed a lot more coursework, a lot more handouts, materials, workbooks. There's going to be a lot more face-to-face with students in, multiple person children Zoom sessions.
Mhm.
But I don't have a clear handle on, what their expenses are and how all the money is going to work. I know there's about 3 or 4 major pots of money. And the school called today or emailed today about whether we could pick up a number of tents on the CARES Act money. And I told them yes, because we haven't had a lot of expenses. The only other reopening expense that I know of at the moment is the library needs to put in a ventilation system. So their reopening plan is almost fully formed, but it's dependent and required by the Board of Health that they have a ventilation system in before they reopen. So I've been working with Mary Ann. She's calling contractors and finding out if we can, how we can put that together. We have one quote for about $6,000, and we're still working on it. So.
And what is the school using the tents for?
They didn't say. I think it's
It's from what, just in casual conversation, my understanding is they're going to try to do as much instruction as possible for those students who for the people, some kids receiving special education. You know, it's to provide outdoor classrooms essentially.
Yeah.
We're talking about the elementary school, right?
Yes, yes.
and I think they will. So a segment of them would be going back before November 9th.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't read with anything very clear on what the rotation is going to be. I've been talking with Steve Sullivan, and he's been pushing for more details coming from the school. And I think he was going to forward me a document that came out the end of last week that has a lot of detail, and I'll forward that to the select board as soon as I receive it.
And I think what would be good, and I know the finance committee, at least some members of the finance committee will be asking what the impact would be on the bottom line of the school budget. So that, you know, this last fiscal year when the food service shut down and transportation wasn't happening, then how does that reflect, how did those lack of costs get reflected, or reduced costs get reflected in the school budget?
I'm not sure that the food services shut down entirely, because meals were being provided to I think a designated, and not all families. Maybe it was all families. I'm not sure.
No,
It wasn't.
not all
Okay.
families, but the meal services were not shut down. And I think the schools administrations have been, you know, they've been shifting the purpose of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been, you know, they had to buy 60 new desks and chairs. They've had to do a number of things to adapt to the new environment. So they spent a chunk of money, of last year's money, to buy computers that they were going to need this year. So while they still had a surplus in funds, which I don't know the exact amount yet, they aren't, it's not just like if you don't do food service and if you don't have bus transportation, all that money stays. I mean, you don't spend any of that money. They've had to do other things.
But some of it can come out of the CARES Act, right? Some of the costs associated with COVID can come out of the CARES Act. So
Yes.
I'm just saying that those questions are out there, and I think we need your answers.
Yeah. But it's hard because they aren't as, when we got that explanation from the regional finance director, it was muddy as can be. I mean, it was.
Right. Well, if you followed it, you realized what had happened. It was muddy, but it was, yeah.
And the other issue is DOC is demanding that, all personnel get paid. So we have some questions with the school, like all the teachers had to continue to get paid. So you're not having,
Right, right.
you're not having layoffs, you're not, you know, they're keeping everybody in place, and whether or not they're working more or less hours, you know, I'm sure it varies from person to person, but a lot of work has gone into figuring that out.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a really good conversation to share information from the school, and I don't know when their next meeting is planned for.
Mhm.
So,
I just, again, just want to make sure
Yep.
that it will be a topic of discussion.
Yep.
So
I have a list of questions they want answers for at their next full meeting, not for tonight, but
Mhm.
at their next regular meeting.
Yep, good.
And I'll probably have half the answers, but we can try.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if the library really is positioned to open up, because that's a challenging.
It's such a small space.
Yeah.
You probably only have 1 or 2 people in there at a time, I would imagine.
Yep. Yep, and they have to go in one door and out the other door, and
Mhm.
you know, is it effective to even open up?
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
yeah, it's a tough one.
We have an election warrant to be signed.
Yes, we do. Do I hear a motion to sign the election warrant for the Senate primary of 9/1/2020?
So moved.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Carol, I.
And Stein, aye. How is the mail-in ballot or the ballot box working? Is that working out okay?
The Dropbox, people are
Dropbox.
starting to find it.
It's about time.
I know, it's amazing. We still get people ringing the bell and asking where it is. And they will have parked right in front of it. But no, it's a huge effort. Susie's putting in a lot more hours than she thought she would, because they're doing this 2-level thing, getting ready for this election and preparing for the next election, kind of at the same time. You know, building systems and figuring out where volunteers can help, and they've had some, you know, it's been difficult, and the post office certainly isn't helping. So, you know, Kevin Rudin, driving from his home in Mendon back and forth every day, has reported seeing mailboxes being loaded into trucks multiple times,
Whoa.
which is unnerving.
Well, the news today was that that's all gonna stop. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
A lot happening.
Yeah.
There certainly is.
Mhm.
So the town administrator updates.
Yes.
Okay, so I've been working a little bit with Donna. The Watkins issue, which we thought we were
Oh,
100%
come
done with,
on. No.
requires an executive session at our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
With Donna present?
Yeah.
So that will be
The
September
second.
2nd. Okay.
That's why I pushed for that date, because she's available on the 2nd. Better news on I'm working on the municipal bridge project down at the Locks Pond, and the second abutter, I have gotten positive feedback from so far, that definitely willing to sign an easement. He wants some more information, and he wants to know when it's going to happen and all of that. So, but the first encounter is a positive one, so I'm very hopeful both easements will be signed rather quickly and shouldn't be a long, arduous process.
Great.
The easement itself can't be written without the exact meets and bounds being identified, and so we're waiting on that information from the engineers. The MVP, the municipal vulnerability preparedness project is I just had another request from Sarah and Julie to make sure that all comments have been, that they've received any comments that are out there. So I just want to check with you all, make sure you don't have any more feedback you want to get in.
No, I believe there was something going to come from the LWAC, just regarding something relating to the private roads around the lake, and concern. I know part of that had been written in, and I do not know the details, but a letter is going to be written in the next week or so. Is that too
That's
late?
too late.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we closed accepting stuff at least a week ago, or 10 days ago. And Mark Rivers,
I knew that.
he knew that, and he had written a lengthy letter
Right.
already. And I guess maybe having it come from LWAC, but he knew it was closing, and he had quite a lengthy submission already.
Oh, I know that. Well, I will let him know.
Well, did he, did you tell him that was fine?
No. A letter. I wish I'd taken notes because things drop off of my head.
And this was the meeting on Saturday?
This was Saturday's meeting. Let me get back in touch with him and get more clarity. Because I may be confusing two different letters that or comments that were coming from LWAC. Let me get back to you. I'll email Mark.
And, okay. Yeah, we received a group letter from folks at the Lake Association, Mark and 2 or 3 other people who had attended the last one that you attended. And then I received a letter from Les Lachonic, which I forwarded to them. And, but, the select board will review, and I think they'll hand it off. I don't know if they're handing us a final copy. I think it might be final.
And then we just accept it.
Mhm.
And thank you for forwarding the one from Leverett. I have not read that yet.
I haven't read it either, but yeah, no, that was good to have.
Yeah, because that's the next piece we're going to be working on is the hazard mitigation. And the contract should be coming from FERCog shortly to work on that. I touched base with Kimberly McPhee, and she said she was putting that together and wanting to get the open space going. So I've got to start pushing Veronica and Penny and hopefully find others willing. I wonder if Linda has any interest in that one.
Yeah, Linda.
Nope. That was quick.
I'm having a break from
Sounds
meetings.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. But we
Thank
will
you.
be on the lookout for others. And it's been a little bit quiet around here, which is a good thing. We're working on closing out the year. I've been working with the accountant and treasurer on different reports, the revenue reports, and checking in on making sure we're, everything is getting prepared to certify free cash soon after the special town meeting, which would mean we could move ahead and set a tax rate. And the last thing I'll report on is the meeting that Melissa and I attended with the representative from AMP Solar, where he reviewed some of the parcels that have NRADs on them, and he talked about because of the results of some of the NRADs, what the amount of wetlands and different properties, they are looking at an additional property to the original 4 NRADs and talking about changes to one of them. to one of the NRADs.
Yep. That's the Carver Road one.
Yeah, and adding the Leverett Road one.
Oh, don't know about that.
Okay,
So they're gonna add a new ANRAD?
yep. 2 new NRADs, I think.
They, so TRC, who's Cole's representative / AMP Energy, approached the commission about the expansion of acreage to be reviewed under the ANRAD at the Carver Road site.
Yep.
And the question was whether a new ANRAD was needed or if they could amend the current one.
Yep.
And the commission decided that to keep this, in order to keep the same file number for that area, they could amend the current ANRAD.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It will mean they'll have to once, and that is not been forthcoming. When it does come in, then Emily Stockman will write a new scope of work for that.
And this is the one that they're proposing that's 12 megs. Is that correct? Or
These are there are no projects associated with these ANRADs. These are only resource area delineation.
Okay.
compilations.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about, is reviewing what TRC flagged, and with Emily Stockman, the commission's consultant, working through to come to consensus about the wetlands in these areas. So that's been in process since January.
So the information that Evan Turner did share was that they have interconnectivity agreements with National Grid for up to 40 megawatts in Shutesbury, and so that's their ballpark framework.
40 megawatts, did you say?
Yeah.
how many acres is that approximately? I can't remember the megawatt to acreage.
Well, the 6 megawatt one is about 30 acres with shade zone and everything.
Okay, so this would be almost 7 times that.
No, it would be, yeah,
210.
6.5.
6.5. 6.5. So it's 1,800. No, wait. It's a lot of acreage. Okay.
Well, it's 6.5 per megawatt, 40. Yeah, so that's like 250 acres out of 3,000 potentially, give or take 50 acres.
Well, this is very early in the planning stages.
Yep. And he was just giving ballpark numbers and then, going through what was happening at each site or what their thinking was. And so it was a general meeting, an introductory meeting. So we had a sense of what they were thinking. It seems they have not really reviewed the new bylaws. It was hard to tell. And then I went to look up the new bylaws on the website today, and they're not there. So at this point in time, and I guess the reasoning the planning board gave was until the AG's office approves them, they're only proposed bylaws. But it is more typical to at least have your proposed bylaws on the website.
I think particularly given all this activity.
Yeah. So I was thinking I should probably talk to the planning board about that and ask why they aren't there.
Yeah. And just note
It
them
is
as the
public
proposed.
information.
Absolutely.
Because
They
I
were voted at town
had
meeting, so
what?
they were voted at town meeting, so they should be
Yes.
up there as proposed, awaiting approval by the Attorney General's office.
Yeah. Do you guys want to vote that?
So
No.
do I hear a motion? Can we do that? Can we make a motion to have them do this?
I
Could we write an
don't
email?
think you
Could
have
be
to.
put up, it could just be put up on the homepage if they don't want to put it up. I mean, is the town meeting, is the whole warrant up
It's up. Yep.
website and everything
Yeah,
that?
so the draft language is up in the warrant,
Right.
but that doesn't include the map.
Mm.
Does
They
it?
are there. They are
Where
there.
are they?
So if you go to their page,
Okay,
Becky, and you scroll down, it's in, it says 2020 approved zoning bylaw amendments. Click here to select 2020 amendments for viewing.
okay,
They
Grace
don't
must have
reflect
put them up.
floor amendments. That's the only thing they're not updated to include floor amendments.
What? I'm sorry?
It says, please note that these do not reflect floor amendments made at annual town meeting for large scale ground mount solar and the floor amendment for signs.
Hmm. Interesting, so that must have happened today.
Yeah, I haven't,
Yeah, because
did-
Grace, I was talking with Grace and she discovered, because a person had inquired, she told them to go to the website and the link that had originally been up there required a password.
gosh,
And so she took it down because she felt it, it's causing more trouble than it was solving.
Hmm.
So,
that's odd because they were there functioning a while ago, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what's, anyway, we'll just make sure they're up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just make sure they're up and available because I told the representative from AMP that they were available online and he should be sure to review them because,
Yeah, they're there.
and the map is there?
Yep.
Great.
Yep, you just have to click on the link on the planning board page where it says click here, and you click there and it brings you to a list, and then you'd have to click on the one you want to look at, and the map
Okay,
is
great.
there.
Sounds good. Well, I'm glad they're there. And
Yes.
see, so we've had that excitement with the solar, MVP, DOT. Oh, I spoke with Tim. He's going to try to move the shed with his forklift after they clear out the area near the library.
We should have a parade.
Yeah.
That,
We're probably going to have a line of traffic behind them.
I bet. Yes. Wow. What a creative solution.
Yes. Great.
And the other issue, the parking for $10 on town property down at the lake. The surveyor who had originally done it has gone out of business. So I'm working with Harold Eaton and Associates, and hopefully they can go out by the end of this week. And the highway department said they will help us move some large rocks that Penny would like to be put around along the front of Merrill Drive as soon as possible. So we're trying to get that done. And that's about all I have right now for updates.
That's good.
Any questions for me?
So this FinCom meets in 20 minutes. So we can adjourn now.
Mhm.
Oh,
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 Linda's
the minutes.
to be in.
Well, there's that, but there's also, you had a PAF for a fire department?
That's right. So do I hear a motion, and it's Johansson, what is his first name?
Noah.
Noah, to be a member of our fire department.
So moved.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Carol, I.
And Stein, aye. So that also has to be signed by the personnel board.
Yep, and I need to, since the chair is gone, I need to ask them to post a meeting I mean,
Yeah.
I need to post a meeting for them.
Okay, so why don't, this last bit is, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes from August 11th, 2020?
So moved.
No second. Any discussion?
I just have to say, I have not even read them. I just, so if,
You want to wait?
if you guys have, if you wouldn't mind waiting, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, so let's postpone that to our next meeting.
That's great. I'm sorry, I didn't see them come through. And I didn't get it done. Thank you. Sorry about that, Linda.
Okay.
Okay, so do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And I'll second. All in favor?
Carol, I.
And Stein, aye. And we'll see you guys in 20 minutes.
Okay.
As civilians, okay? Take
Civilians.
care. Have a nice dinner.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Linda.
Bye, Becky.
See you tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.